really looking now is to see on how we can showcase ourselves, what we're doing in this kind of sustainability. I mean, most of you probably know about MarineTraffic in some capacity. You heard our name, you use our services. You most guaranteed use our services through other means as well. And of course, you see us on news site as said here as well. If there's anything happening, people come to our website to confirm, are what the PR company is saying true, or is there anything else happening as well? And vice versa, they're using us as well to showcase this is not true, this is what's happening really. And like I said, most of you already know MarineTraffic, but for everyone else, let's have a little brief go through and what we do. So most of you would be familiar with AIS. It's the radio signals that are the really foundation of what we're doing as well. It's the signals that are being broadcast from the vessel to really showcase where they are, what they're doing, and where they're going. And that's kind of the real foundation on what we're doing and what the kind of data we provide as well. And MarineTraffic, of course, is there. We have set up a global coverage. We have the world's biggest network of terrestrial receivers, about 4,000 active ones all around the world. We're also the only one that also incorporate all satellite providers as well. So we have the biggest network on this one. And that's also, of course, why people are coming to our service also. And all this data is then being collected in real time, funneled through to our systems, cleaned up, deciphered, and also then provided through our services, either through our website or to the other platforms as well. And just a brief history lesson here. So MarineTraffic has been around since about 2008. We've been growing consistently as well with the network from January from 2012, we're saying that we have global coverage. And as you can see here as well, it's been growing continuously throughout the years as well, both in the number of networks and the stations, but also on the number of vessels that we track also, both from terrestrial and the satellite receivers. So yes, I mean, based on this one, you can definitely see that the coverage we have is global, and we can showcase where all vessels are in real time. As I said, basically showcase where is the global industry going right now, what's been happening in recent time as well. And one thing that we also have that most people don't know about, think about, we have also archived all this information from 2009 onwards. So a lot of people now understand that they can use this data to calculate these metrics to basically understand what's going to happen in the future based on what's been happening in the past. To basically see where is the trend going and where should we be focusing as well. Both, of course, their own company, but also, of course, tracking where the competitors are going, what's happening in the environment, ETA zones, piracy zones, and so forth as well. So looking at the MarineTraffic, we're serving around 500,000 to 600,000 users every day. This is about 6 million users, individual users each month to come to our website. So we have a big traction in this network as well. And as I said in the last slide, about 200,000 vessels being tracked on a daily basis, just both from the terrestrial and the satellite positions as well. And all that is being then funneled through to create and receive all these AIS messages. So about 600 million messages. I'm sure that doesn't tell you much, but it's basically all the information comes available there as well. That is then being cleaned through, deciphered, as I said, and then pushed through to our network. I think about from this 600 million, we're keeping around 60 million. Since all the other ones is often superfluous, there's some duplication, there's a lot of inaccuracies as well in this data, there's a lot of spoofing, duplications, that sort of thing as well is happening. And that's something that we're tracking as well and can provide to our customers. And one thing I haven't mentioned yet, of course, we have also geofenced all the world's ports, anchorage, harbors as well, to be able to provide information on where vessels are going, when are they arriving at port, and when are they departing from port. Basically to provide information to allow for port efficiency as well. And finally, from all this one, we are trading about 1.3 million events each day. That includes port calls, berth calls, as I mentioned, but also proximity alerts, any transition from ETA zones, piracy zones as well as multiple different facets of information that we have in real time. And lastly as well, typical use cases. The good thing with marine traffic, we are covering a broad spectrum of what's happening in the world as well. And a lot of stakeholders use our data. So saying that what we actually do is hard just because we do a lot of things. We provide information for everyone. And I say that everyone here in the panel optimizes the use of data and also utilizing the information we can provide from that one. So in terms of optimizing operations, we do that across the market, both environmental, both also safety-wise, and of course financially as well. How can you optimize your operations to improve what you're doing right now? And this is just a few cases, and after all this, I'm sure we can go through and talk about more of what's happening in your industry as well. So this comes to what I'm talking about here today, which is basically how to transform your business with marine traffic intelligence solutions. And as you mentioned, we are already doing broad spectrum of all these operations in your markets already. But often people don't really know that this information is there. Most of you have probably seen our website. It's a very pretty vessels on a map. There's not many people that actually looked beyond that as well, what's behind that information. And that's actually a bit sad at the moment, since there's so much information there available that people can then use. So in this case, I'm looking at port optimization. So just to briefly go back again, we are collecting storing data on all operations in and around port areas, both ports and anchorages. This is something that our system does automatically. Our system is then calculating to provide this information based on where all the operations is happening. And then, of course, we then go into that in more details to see what's the kind of activity in each port as well. And as you can see in this one here, you see quite clearly where are the berth information, which we then also mapping at the berth level. So what does all this mean really? What this means is just you can then track real-time berth monitoring and provide this information to your stakeholders, to your customers, and also internally as well. So most of you probably will see the benefit here from this one as well. So one case we have here is, for example, Hamburg turnaround times. So what we can then see in real time per week as well, what's the operations happening here, what's the delay, what's the basically port congestion in each anchorage area also, how much waiting time does each vessel need to stay at port on an average, but also per individual as well. So at the moment, quite a few customers now are using this data to see how well do we stack up against our competitors, and how can we improve this as well. And of course, also that goes down to port and terminal operations as well. How can they improve there? So on that side as well, it will have much competition to improve themselves compared to other ports and terminals also. And yeah, so port optimization here. So there we go. So MarineTraffic is very proud to be part of the Global Industry Alliance, the GIA, as one of the founding members as well. So this is an organization led by IMO and also several high-profile companies in the market. It's set up to support low-carbon shipping, and MarineTraffic data is then being used to power this information and power these kind of analytics tools as well. So with this information, can you then, together with today's information on what's happening right now. So right now, example on today's operations, you don't often know how long you will need to wait at port. Often that means a long waiting time at anchorage, a lot of fuel is wasted, a lot of environmental impact as well. So it's both sides, you can save a lot of money and also cut down emissions in this local area as well if you have this kind of information. So what we're now looking at is this kind of just-in-time operations. So which really goes back to one of the fundamental issues right now with the maritime world. We don't talk to each other. So what MarineTraffic do well is that we provide this information as a hub to multiple other sources as well. The problem is, of course, to receive information from some of these stakeholders, but that's a different discussion for later on. So bringing it all together, what we can then do is provide more information for this just-in-time operations to be able to cut down emissions, cut down the cost, and basically allow also some vessels to slow steam into port, and instead of waiting at anchorage. And yeah, so what it do, optimize voyage and vessel speed, reduce consumption, emissions, and we also did some calculation with this one. They're saying that there is at least 50% to be saved from this information, both emission-wise and also revenue-wise as well. So there's a lot to be gained here simply by just utilizing data that's already available. There we go. Some quick notes as well on voyage visualization. It's something that we do on real time as well. Basically, try to get where the vessel is right now, where it's going, also calculate the most optimal way to go there as well. So often the ETA, but what we do also do is provide predictive ETA as well. So I know I'm running about out of time here, so I'm just going to quickly run through this as well. We're doing a lot now with Voyage Planner to calculate this information on which the route's going, what's the ETA, what's calculated ETA, also the ETD as well. How long is it going through the ECA zones and piracy zones? All that, of course, to optimize your voyage, cut down risk, cut down cost, and save, the environment as well. And yeah, quick note about we're doing also a lot now with a new voyage planner, which calculates information based on also emissions to see how much fuel can each operator save as well through this information. And weather routing is something that's forthcoming now. So it's something that will be available in the next 6 months or so, basically including weather data within this calculation as well, to better optimize your transition and data. And I'm out of time. So anyone else can probably get this presentation later on. There's a lot more to be had. But yeah, thank you very much.